Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us here on the Football New South Wales YouTube page. It's the match of the round in Football New South Wales, League One Women's for round 7. We're already at the 7th round, can you believe it? But it's a local derby here in Rudy Hill. It's the Spartans versus Blacktown City. Local bragging rights on the line, starting in just a few moments now. Everyone loves a derby, and that's what we've got for you. Eric Subihano here in the shipping container here at Blacktown Football Park. Thanks for tuning in. And for these two teams, going to this contest with one win apiece, coincidentally, against another team from nearby Nepean FC. This is a very important clash as both the Spartans and City try to build some momentum here. So we've got just enough time to go through the lineups. Firstly, for the hosts, the Spartans. In goal, Ella Stewart. And number 3, Eleonora Daga. Number 4, the captain, Angelique Lynch. Number 5, Mira Thomas. Number 7, Ella Morris. Number 9, Milena Visser. Number 11, Liliet Orsandich. Number 12, Paris Vanuya. Number 13, Emma Ingerson. Number 16, Davina Vine. And number 18, Jasmine Fisher. Spartans are coached by Lachlan Raymond. And it looks like we're about set to go underway. But while we wait for the whistle from today's referee, the lineup for City. In goal, number 1, Amy Harkin. Then number 6, Jasmine Stratton. By the way, Amy Harkin's also the City captain. Number 7, Amber Precious. Number 8, Zoe Zacek. Number 9, Jessica Anand. Number 10, Kira Hastings. Number 15, Olivia Moore. Number 19, Naomi Carl. Number 21, Ria DeMello. There's the whistle, away we go. Number 25, Angelique Skapetis. And number 28, Elena Tufanoglu. City, coached by Michael Hawthorne. And just to make things a little bit easier for all of you tuning in today, we do thank you for your support, as there's an early Spartans through ball. Work back to the City keeper, Amy Harkin. Of course, with two teams whose names, whose government names both start with Blacktown. The team in orange will be, I'll refer to them as Spartans for this game, and the team in black will be City, just to make it a little bit easier for both those of you tuning in and for my tiny little brain. As it's Naomi Carl, a decent first touch. And then Zoe Zacek. To Stratton. And now it's City with an early chance to build some possession. It's still early days in Football New South Wales League One Women's, as there's a through ball which should be easy for Amy Harkin to gather. And as I said earlier, both teams looking for their second wins of the 2025 campaign. A 26-round season, as it was in each of the last 2 seasons. So there's plenty of time yet for these two teams. From Blacktown Council, the greatest LGA in the world, for plenty of time for both these teams to make their mark. As it's Lynch. And then it's played out as the defending from the Blacktown right back, Jessica Anand. So this is the second time that our cameras have been here in the 2025 season, at least for League One Women's action, as City might win it high up the field. Here's Carl. Work back to Zacek. And Zacek, Spartans actually did well defending as a team to compress the space. Not allowing a shot, but here's a run from centre back coming up. Now how's the through ball? And numbers just about win the day, or win that battle for the Spartans. Yes, it's the second time our cameras have been here this season for League One Women's. It was back in round 3 when it was another, well, we couldn't really call it a derby, but it was the Spartans hosting a club very near to here, Marconi Stallions, and the Stallions who are doing very well and leading the league as we head into this one. It was Marconi Stallions galloping to a 1-0 victory here on this very patch of synthetic turf against the Spartans. It was the man they call Duckman with commentary, as there's a foul against Lynch. The man, it was Duckman on commentary. Well, I say they call Duckman. He calls himself Duckman, and he's been so persistent, I think we've got to follow it, by the way. But his government name is Matthew Austin. Yeah, can you believe it? Matthew registered the intellectual property for Duckman. Yes, I'm not making this up. So yeah, I suppose we got to respect that and call him Duckman. But anyway, I'm now it's my turn here in this lovely shipping container here at Blacktown Football Park. following in Duckman's footsteps, and let's hope my commentary fits the bill, because he could be a tough act to follow. But it's the Spartans, and they've settled it with Lynch once again. Angelique Lynch, perhaps inadvertently doing all the media a favour, because it's myself and next to me, long-time League One Women's reporter Justin Davies. But with those bright boots and the ribbon in her hair, she will be easy to pick out at least. Skapetis plays it back. Now Zacek getting a lot of touches early in the centre of park. Zacek with a lot of experience in this division. I'll expand on that later if I remember. But Zacek's a very good pickup, a very good signing for Blacktown City. She joined last year. Now, this could be the first chance, and I think the flag's going to stay down here. Oh, nope, I'm wrong almost straight away. But so that shot from Skapetis is not going to count. A judge to have started the run just a little bit too early. Speaking of tough acts to follow, there's actually the reporter to my left as that long kick is being chased here, and again, City they're trying to shepherd it through to Harkin. From our angle, it probably looked a little bit less safe than it actually was. It's good defending there from the City backline. It actually was the reporter to my left who was the commentator for the last weekend's match of the round at Majors Bay Reserve. It was Central Coast Mariners coming from behind to defeat Interlions by 2-1. Justin, I can tell you, is glad for elevation with the viewing position today, because there was no elevation, I'm led to believe, at Majors Bay. They were calling a game from pitch level. I've done that, and it's quite difficult, let me tell you. Now, that's a through ball, and Skapetis should stay on side for this one, up against Venuya, and Venuya has defended it well, and yep, it will be a goal kick. It's good to see as we look at if I look at the previous featured games in the women's second tier for this year, it turns out that myself and Justin are the only two to call a game in which both teams have scored. Is that? Yeah. Yes, because I was on the mic for a fortnight ago for the 1-1 draw between Hills United and SD Raiders. And as I said earlier, Justin called the 2-1 victory for the Mariners over Inter last weekend. As Carl blocks the attempt from Spartans to play out from the back. Here's Zacek, nice 1-2. Back to cover, and defending very nicely is Ella Morris. Ball here, and it is Eleanor Daga who would not be able to... was never going to catch up to that through ball. Zacek again to Carl. And Zacek, I think she's played it off an opponent. Indeed she has, so a Blacktown throw coming up. By the way, while I forget, there's like Eleanor Daga on the nearest side of the field as we see things in the first half, and it's good to see that Eleanor is a fellow member of the Forearm Tattoo Club. It's always good to see players with forearm tattoos, and I always feel a little bit better when there's one of us on the field. As City work left, Skapetis, again caught offside, but she's... I don't mind that when forward players at least are making those runs, at least giving opposition defenders to think about, and not just in terms of what might be in front of a defender, but potentially running in behind them as well. So I suppose it's time for an early plug of the League One Women's Round Review that Justin will be writing for all the games on this Sunday, the 13th of April. But as the Spartans work it down the far side, and it's out for a City throw, I suppose there's only really one game that'll be catching everyone's eye, and that is, of course, the top of the table clash at Blacktown Sports Park. Just a short trip up the M7 from here between Hills United and Marconi Stallions. So, as Hills United, the team formerly known as the Brumbies, in second place, and the Stallions in first. So, I'll have to call that match the Equine Derby. And that's a 5:30 p.m. kickoff. So those two teams about to get into the saddle at Glenwood. There's a strong tackle in the middle of the field and then taken over by Rhea DeMello. Now, City putting the pressure on, but it's played back and Ella Stewart clears it. There's Vine. I'm sorry, no, my apologies. Visser, Milena Visser, the number 9 for... Milena Visser, the number 9 for Spartans. Spartans can't hold onto it. And Zacek with the ball to Tufanoglu. Zacek delivers, but there's no one making that far post run, and it will be Ella Stewart gathering. So Stewart has started this game. She throws out to, I think that's Binuya. Oh no, it's not. Apologies. Stewart has started this game in the baseball cap, but of course daylight savings has ended. The floodlights are already on at Blacktown Football Park, as there's the ball from Zacek. Strong tackle on the edge of the box. And then Stretton, she's able to win a throw. So I do wonder, because the sun will set during the first half here in Rudy Hill. I do wonder if Ella Stewart will need that cap for the second half. Another City throw and played out by Ingerson. Just on Ella Stewart, I'm glad, and I literally cannot think of anyone in the Football New South Wales Leagues or NPL or the A-Leagues that has the same initials as me. So finally, I get to see a fellow ES on the field. There's a good header there. And Spartans making it difficult for City to play through them. Now Zacek shoots from range, and that will be easy for ES. Seriously. ENS, two very commonly used letters, and like just off the top of my head, in basically all the football that I know, the only ESs I can think of are myself and Ella Stewart. So yeah, it's a little bit unusual. Although I suppose there is former Bankstown City player Emma Stanbury as well, but who I believe is now plying her trade for Peninsula Power in Queensland. Spartans look to set up this throw. By the way, there's a Peninsula Power Junior on a advertising board here at the Blacktown Football Park, but I'll expand on that later. And Spartans living up to one of my old adages. When in doubt, just throw it down the line. And look, Ella Morris has gotten up to halfway. So she'll do it again. Flicks off Anand. It should be City's ball. So DeMello, the pressure was coming, and DeMello decides safety first. And it was safety first for DeMello. A little bit less than safety first for the spectators who had to duck out of the way. The bleachers in front of us. City have it back with Stretton. Now, Precious. And Skapetisk was allowed to turn, has runners. Will cut inside, and Lynch slows her down. Now that will be a free kick. And even my aging eyes has been able to pick that one up. So City attacking set piece come up with the infringement by Paris Vanuya. And like one of the more random things I know of Filipino descent. I'll tell you how I know that later, but haven't seen a Filipino step out of line like that since the last time I did commentary. 13th minute here, 0-0 between Spartans and City. City set piece coming up, and it's looked decent off the boot, but Stewart was well positioned and sees it go out for a goal kick. They play out. Zacek gets a flick. Tries to put pressure on Visser. Now Morris, good ball, very good ball. And the run in behind the Spartans, left side of the box. The shot comes in, safe hands from Amy Harkin. It was a good run. I think that was Davina Vine. It made the diagonal run get in behind the defense, and that's the first shot in anger for this evening's game here in Rudy Hill, followed by Justin Davies furiously typing on his laptop. But I think I saw a handball against City, and so long-range Spartans free kick coming up. And it's Rasandic, who will be faced with a 3-player wall. The ref has given the universal signal for wait for my whistle. And Rasandic, what's she thinking? Does she go direct for goal, or does she aim for one of her many teammates inside the area? Blacktown defend as well, but the ref has to make sure that the 10 yards are maintained first. And Blacktown otherwise keeping a very high line. So I wonder if this gives enough room to the keeper to come out for it if it's lobbed into the middle. In fact, she goes direct and looked good off the boot, but not enough power in the end to trouble Amy Harkin, who makes her second save in quick succession. Quick throw out to Carl. Carl plays it behind Anand, so a Spartans throw coming up. Vine with another decent run. Is that going to be a corner? Yes, it is. So first corner. First corner for the game going to the hosts. And so it's going to be Rasandic once again with the corner from the left flag. And as she gathers that ball, for those of you with pretty good vision, yes, that is Courtney Vine on that Carby's advertising boarding, the aforementioned Peninsula Power Junior from earlier. I was like, oh, I love that. A little bonus Vine time when I saw that advertising board. As Rasandic delivers to the far post, and the header will go over the bar. But another good delivery from Rasandic, and that could potentially be a good route to goal for the hosts. As set pieces are often the deciders in a tight game, or that often the deciding factor in tight games. And as we know, as all football fans know, derbies are usually tight. You can throw the form book out the window, as the cliche says. Couple of headers. Neither team able to settle the ball just yet, although Spartans were going to let City have a play at it with Tufanoglu, and then Skapetis was blocked off well by Ingerson, but then it's a bit awkward, and then Stewart nearly played it straight into the pressure that was coming, I think, from Skapetis. And Spartans get away with that one. Now thrown back to Lynch, who then had an opponent in her face almost immediately, but wasn't able to did not lose out. Of course, the joys of watching games on YouTube, the joys of YouTube streaming. As that is going direct and Harkin just gathers easily. Of course, you can watch these games wherever you are. Don't even need a YouTube account to log in. Well, you don't need to log in. That's the point of not having an account. But, sorry. You don't need a YouTube account to watch. Everything's free. You can watch it wherever you are in the world. And, you know, the YouTube mobile app's pretty good as well. So a big thank you to anyone who is away from home who otherwise does not have access to a laptop but is still tuning in. 0-0 in the round 7 League One women's match of the round between Spartans and Blacktown City. As the delivery is hoofed up into the air by Spartans. And Anand battling well, but Spartans actually strong. It was like the the Spartans forwards, who are very good as the first line of defense, and they've kept the pressure up, so they want to throw in inside City territory. That's good work from the hosts. Yes. I do love to go around the grounds here. Us Football New South Wales media, I will try and use the old YouTube app to keep you advised of scores coming in. There's NPL women's games, I believe 5 NPL women's games being played today. And now as... thank you, Justin, for muting that... yeah, I'm going to say this, for muting that commentator who's not as good as me. But it... he won't hear this, don't worry. But, yes. The only voice you're going to be punished with today is my voice. Thank you very much. But thanks to Justin. He's going to go around the grounds for me. Appreciate your service. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry to be a pain, Justin. Are these all 5 p.m. kickoffs? Yes, you got all 5. Okay, no worries. So in the NPL Women's Distance Derby, it appears the Stingrays are leading by 2-0 against Newcastle Jets. Is that on the south coast? Oh, it's up at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. Oh, that's right, because it's our friend. It's our friend Ashley Borg, who's part of the Maltese Mafia in our commentary team, so to speak. Mel Muscat being the other half of the Maltese Mafia, but Ashley Borg is... I haven't finished talking, Justin. Wait. As City, actually good first touch here, and then followed by good defending as well, and Olivia Moore was eased off the ball there. But yes, Ashley Borg is currently braving the dodgy wobbly scissor lift at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility, presumably with Stephen Roberts as the camera operator, because I don't think we've ever had another camera operator other than Stephen at Lake Macquarie. It's 0-0 in Melissa Muscat's game, which is between Mount Druitt and Gladesville Ravens at Poppendetta Park. Is that right? Yeah. Okay, so Mel's not too far away from here as well. Yeah. Yes, okay, we're not doing that update, but anyway, and as it's City playing it towards Carl, who's found herself centrally for the time being, before pass intercepted by Vine. City standing firm, and here's Zacek. And yes, long-time watchers of League One women's matches of the round streams, you'd probably be familiar with Melissa Muscat's voice. And it does appear that along with Mount Druitt's promotion, after they won the club championship last year, Mel has earned an informal promotion, shall we say. And he's a great commentator and calling a lot of top-tier games, NPL women's games this year, and that's what she deserves. They call her the Professor, Mel Muscat, and a lot of our commentators could certainly learn a lesson from how Mel does things, as good pass right, and then Carl can't link up with a teammate in the centre. Okay. Now, yes, so as part of oddly bizarre doubleheader in Sutherland Shire, I don't know what I don't know what the men's game was, but the women's game is Sydney University hosting RPL Leichhardt at Seymour Shaw. Okay, oh, if you say so, but yeah, it's like, stop rushing me. I haven't said the Uni RPL score yet, Justin. Spartans, actually, that might work out for Carl, but in fact the ball skips away from her, and it's going to be Darga. And now Morris. Before offside against Melina Visser. But yes, anyway, so of course, for those of you wondering, why is Sydney University playing RPL Leichhardt at Seymour Shaw? Well, I think they've just about finished a new hybrid pitch at the Sydney University football grounds. I mean, if you've ever seen a game there, it's a ground that hosts both football and rugby union, and it looks exactly how you'd expect it to look, or at least it did, but hopefully the new pitch makes things a little bit better for the football folk and the rugby folk, of course. But Sydney Uni versus Apia, or as I like to call it, the Tory Truman Trophy. It's 1-1 currently at Seymour Shore. And I was going to say that Jasmine Fisher was strong, but too strong in the tackle for the ref's liking. And a long-range City free kick coming up. By the way, I really hope we get NPL women's at the City University football ground soon, because a ground with a licensed bar in the grandstand and the license extends to the seats, so you can take your drink to wherever you are in the grandstand. That's incredible. As the free kick comes in, and it's not dipping or swerving towards the goal in time. A decent effort nonetheless from Ria De Mello, but it will be a goal kick. So, I mean, that, of course, having a and of course, going back to Sydney Uni is thinking about Sydney Uni ground as Spartans set up this goal kick. Looks like they're going to try the far side. Ella Stewart has given the signal for her teammates to shift to the right. And yes, yeah. An alcohol license that extends to the whole of the grandstand means that, you know, the media could partake in an adult beverage while working. Not that I know anyone that's done that, of course, as it's cleared on the edge of the box by Rosandic. Now Vine, and that's got way too much on it for Darga. Darga very sportingly gives the ball to Anand, who then slightly unsportingly throws it into the space behind Darga, but Spartans have survived, although only for now, as could be a chance here, and the shot comes in, but it doesn't have enough power to trouble Ella Stewart. Tufanoglu with the effort there. Now, as City, once again, battling for it, and won the battle in the center of the park. Of course, the unmistakable surrounds of Western Sydney as someone unnecessarily revs their engine on the road next to the ground. Meanwhile, Ananda's overlapped well, and the cross is blocked. Zacek trying to recycle for City. And then, dude, it's a right idea. Zacek will try and keep it alive, but it's Vine. Well, Vine can't play it out. Here's Stretton. Long range shot, easy for Stewart. Yes, but I think this will become even clearer after sunset, when the street lights and all the other associated lights of urban areas go on. But you may have noticed from our filming position there is a very prominent sign for a very famous fast food chain, and yes, if you combine that with the revving engines to our left, yes, I mean, if you're not within 500 meters of a McDonald's, are you even in Western Sydney? I say no. Now, back to Kira Hastings, and then all the way back to Amy Harkin. Clip forward, but then it is Thomas, but Thomas couldn't get a hold of it. Rosandic clears it more up than forward, so there's Lynch helping it forward. The Spartans captain stepping in there. Darga's been pressured well by Anand. And I think that's Morris. Morris might have had it stolen. So there's been some good high pressing from both teams here, and that's what you want, especially in a derby. The teams aren't being passive. And there we go. There's more. There's Kira Hastings stepping in all the way from centre back, although now City might need to cover. Actually, it looks like they have it covered. Rosandic down the line, and Darga's not even really going to chase. She'll just leave Ria De Mello to it. Back across the line it goes. I'm liking this passage of play. It's on the near side, not the far side. I don't like it when teams use the far side. I'm one of the oldest members of the commentary team, so yes, with all that implies. This is better from Spartans. Now Vine couldn't get a shooting opportunity, but it might still come for the hosts, although, yeah, that was the right idea, but execution a little bit off, unfortunately, for Visser. And City will now have a throw-in right in front of Courtney Vine. I mean... By the way, so of course with the women's football boom leading into and after the World Cup, of course, there will be people who might not be aware. It was actually pretty recently that Courtney Vine, you know, Matilda's shootout star, she played on grounds like this one, literally. She's played on this ground a few times when she was at Sydney University and Sydney Olympic. She even used to be venue staff at Valentine Sports Park. As DeMellos gets the jump there, but then can't clear it. So here's Darga, and Darga not on the same wavelength as a teammate. So Harkin takes over for City. Approaching the half-hour mark here at Rudy Hill, 0-0 between Spartans and City in the League One Women's Blacktown Derby. Eric Subihana here with the commentary. And after it's a great first touch, by the way. And some of the crowd love that as well. We all love a good first touch. And then that's a good touch as well from Darga, but she's offside. Let's go back to that first touch. Ella Morris took it beautifully out of the sky. There were some very appreciative noises coming from the spectators on the bleachers in front of us. As now I've just realized there is a light here. Yes, okay. As my old eyes needed me to turn on the light in this media box. I lovingly call it the shipping container because, well, that's what it is if you've ever seen it from the outside. But credit to Spartans and Blacktown District Soccer Football Association. Yeah, I think that's their official name. Yeah, for setting this up, building this, I think in 2020, as it's worked back to Harkin. You know, we got the media, we got shelter. There's an air conditioner for the warmer months of the year. We got power as well. It's brilliant. It's like lots of clubs could take note. And if I'm feeling cheeky enough, I'll tell you who those clubs are later in the call. But it's even in a... Actually, hang on. We're going to see an early sub here, so... Let's see. Okay. So, of course, players can leave the field from wherever these days, so we hope Naomi Mikhal's okay. As it's rare to see a player subbed in the 31st minute. Naomi Mikhal, her day is done, and there's a substitution here. Justin Davies and I silently willing this player to turn around. Well, I'm not silently willing, but you know what I mean. As long time. I mean, there's probably a fair few long-time Football New South Wales YouTube viewers who would say I should do more things silently. But anyway, it's Spartans on the move. Here's Vanuya with some tricky feed. And, gosh, she didn't get through, but she took the initiative, did Paris Vanuya, and it's resulted in Spartans attacking throw-in. So Justin is telling me Annalise Lobos, number 13, is on for Naomi Mikhal. It's a header for City. Skapetis is also in there. And as we said, we hope Naomi Mikhal is okay. As I... Now Spartans keeping it near what we should, from now on, we shall call the Courtney Vine corner of Blacktown Football Park. And Davina Vine can't keep hold of it. So that's nice from Blacktown. A couple of quick passes. They've got a chance to get out here. And then it's the right idea, but the switch didn't curl quite enough towards Olivia Moore. So here's Visser. Now, I think that's Vanuya. And Vanuya holds down R2 and... Did she win a corner? No. Harkin looking for the long goal kick, I think. Towards halfway. Good flick there from the newly introduced player, Annalise Lobos. Now Olivia Moore's quick enough to break one tackle, but she is double marked up against Ingerson and Lynch. Well, she'll get to the byline. That's a great run from Olivia Moore. She's won a corner, surely. Yes, she has. There's the signal. So first corner for the visitors. I've just got an amusing message from our good friend, longtime Football New South Wales media member Justin Smith, which, well, I'll just wait to see how this set piece plays out. In-swinger, good ball, and it's just over Skapetis, and then it bounces away from Stretton, so it does end up as a goal kick, but it was a very, very interesting delivery from a City perspective. And yes, I did talk about Rosandic's set-piece delivery early on for the Spartans, but Ria de Mello looks like she has similar dead ball ability for the visitors. Now, good first touch there from Anand, but then the pass puts de Mello under a little bit of pressure, so back home, as they say, back to the keeper. They start again to City. Now, good friend Justin Smith, League One men's reporter for the men's second tier. Let me tell you, he's so much better than the egomaniac who used to cover that league. As we'll hold that thought, City's got a chance here and a player spare, but Tufanoglu decided to go for goal herself. It does end up with Olivia Moore. Then Tufanoglu, and still might be alive, Lobos. Block the clearance. Handball shouts for the host not heeded. City attacking throw coming up. Yes. Anyway, back to Justin Smith, the man who's so much better than his predecessor. He's catching up on last night's League One men's match of the round. SD Raiders. At SD Raiders hosting whoever it was at Ernie Smith Reserve. Commentary from the People's Champion Nicholas Kutniak, and he said, Kutniak at 1.5 speed is an experience. I'm sure it is. I would also, given how fast I talk, I would recommend that none of you ever try to watch one of my streams at 1.5 speed. I mean, if there's an option to slow it down, that might, well, that would be better for you. Ella Stewart. Kick out of the hands. Vine is eased away from it by the City defense. And we're approaching half-time now. And do we have a goal before half-time to break the deadlock? Good turn from de Mello, good balance on the ball as well. Towards Olivia Moore, and then that's unlucky for Moore, just left the ball behind her. Also, well, Spartans again attacking, trying to attack through Vine, but it's stopped by Zacek. And de Mello. Next thing, that's Stratton. Zacek again. Skapetis looks to have switched flanks, and that's what Zacek spotted, but it was a good play there to intercept from Ella Morris. There's Rosandic dropping one over the top. Hastings is in position. But then Rosandic wins it back, looking for Darga. And Darga, interesting ball there. So here's the shot, and then it's not the contact that Mira Thomas would have wanted. I hesitate because I didn't write her name properly during the intro. It's my own handwriting tripping me up as always. Now, the ball in the air, kick out from Harkin, and now Tufanoglu, then Moore, but there's Lynch, very strong, and Lynch has won the free kick. So Angelique Lynch defending like Grant Lynch there. On the way, as I know that Sydney Olympic are playing Manly and NPL Women's as we speak, and an anonymous friend is saying this pitch at Petermore Field looks like my backyard back in Mudgee during a drought. Okay, well, handball there, so the It's an unfortunate bounce for DeMello. Now she's got to get back into position. And Spartans want to take it quickly. Rasandic is directing the play, and it's a great ball to Visser. Left side of the box, Visser shoots, and it's over the bar. But there again, Rasandic, not just created from the set pieces. Well, actually, that was a set piece. What am I talking about? But not what we usually think of as set piece opportunities, just inside our own half, and recognize the opportunity to take it quickly. So that's good thinking from the Spartans, number 11. Zacek, nice turn. Finds Lobos. Now Stretton. Stretton out to Moore. The overlapping run has started from Precious. And Precious will win the throw. As I City trying to work it centrally from the left. Who does the bounce favour? It's Skapetis. But then Skapetis stopped by Darga. But now Anand does well too with the second effort and then misses out. It'll be a Spartans throw. By the way, thoughts and prayers to any squad number traditionalists amongst us. I hope you're okay watching this City backline that has a number 9, a number 10, and a number 7. It's okay. You'll get through it. You'll live. And he's City number 9, Jessica Nant. And the slice clearance there. Spartans get out from near their own corner flag. Good header there, and then pass a little bit off target from Lobos. Vine lunging. Zacek also trying to get involved there. Now Darga. And it's Spartans who've won that battle as it goes back to Lynch. Darga wants the switch. It's not coming. In fact, Rasandic aiming centrally towards Vine. Vine comes off the heel, swept up by DeMello, who then might run into trouble here. It's Vanoya with a good tackle, and Vanoya on the left foot shoots, and it's saved. Well, it was a very clever play from Paris Vanoya to win it off an opposition defender, or as some of her relatives might say, well, Ungaling the Mandi Paris. But a couple of nice touches as well, but the shot not quite matching the initial play to win it back. It's a strong run from Visser. Needs some support in the middle. Vanoya is heading towards the far post. Visser evades the tackle. She's thinking of going herself, I think. Like the gap at the near post, but the ball swings away, and it is a goal kick. Vanoya again. Moves it inside. And then it is Thomas who is stopped. City will not. It would be tough to get a counter from here. Spartans had the numbers back defensively. They'll have to be a bit more patient. Here's Anand. And Skapetis overcooks the return pass. This is such a different experience to the start of the season now that daylight savings is over. It's the first half of a game, and I can see the full moon over to our right. By the way, if you're new to my commentary, the full moon is not the reason for why my commentary is the way it is. It's just like this all the time. Here's Stratton. Moore. Will be one-on-one with Ingerson. Moves it back, and then there's the clearance, which Zacek, his first two. Now, will we see a flag up? Well, it might not matter unless Skapetis gets to it before the byline, before it crosses the byline, and there we go. Skapetis is offside. So, restart. And now it is City. Halftime very much upon us, although we won't know exactly how long it is until halftime for two reasons. No fourth official in League One Women's, although to be honest, if there was a fourth official with a board to indicate the time added on from this distance, I wouldn't have been able to see it anyway. So it's as Vine crosses and actually might get a second go with the cross. To the edge of the box and away by Lobos. Yeah, I mean, it'll be the pre-1998 Men's World Cup experience for us today. How much stoppage time will there be? Well, I don't know. Yes. Yes is the end. Now, claims of a high foot, but I think that would have been a bit harsh. There's no way Morris would have been able to see Skapetis coming. And here's Zacek. Now, Lobos, center circle, but pressed immediately. And gives it up as well. It's a good play from, I think, Ingerson, but now is Visser, and Visser's got the speed here. Chance for a finish, and the futsal-style toe poke is across the face of goal and out. Yeah, that was good speed there from Melina Visser to get away, and I haven't seen a Spartans forward be that fast on this ground since Ashley Crofts played for this club a couple of years ago. The finish off target. In fact, there it is. So not much time added on, about 40 seconds by my stopwatch, but it's still goalless as the teams head to the dressing sheds. 0-0 in Football New South Wales League One Women's between Spartans and Blacktown City. Melina Visser's made some interesting runs for the hosts, and Lily Rasandish looks to have a good set-piece delivery on her. While for City, I think Angelique Skapetis has been one of their standouts, but it hasn't been enough from any of them to break the deadlock so far. This is Eric Subihano with the commentary from Blacktown Football Park. We will take a short break, and then we'll be back for the second half.
The lights in, I don't know the lights in the stadium, yeah, it is. The lights are on in the stadium. Which top switch are you referring to? Yeah, it's on, it's on manual. Right, okay, yeah, got it. Sorry about that. Yeah. Good.
Welcome back to the second half of our Football New South Wales League One Women's broadcast. The featured game for round 7, 0-0 in the Blacktown derby between Spartans and Blacktown City. And we think, courtesy of long-time Football New South Wales reporter Justin Davies, we think that City have made their second sub of the game, but we'll have to confirm that. As I did say, no fourth official. It is a little bit trickier at this level, but if you're familiar with my commentary, you'll know that I'm usually good to figure a halftime sub out at some time in the next 15 minutes. So I should be able to, as the whistle blows for the second half, maybe with a bit of luck, I'll figure this out before the next sub that anyone makes. Now I see a 24. Thanks, Justin. He's got that question right. Number 24, Annabelle Forbes, is on, thus leaving the not quite straightforward question of who came off, but a little bit of process of elimination, and we'll get there in the end as Spartans throwing down the line, and then you looking to move it. Okay, Spartans, by the way, they made a sub at halftime as well. Number 10, Radeh Mohammadi, is on, and direct ball takes a touch. Could be a big chance for Vine, and Vine has scored in the opening minute of the second half. It was Mohammadi's ball. That wasn't dealt with. Vine, who's been making some excellent runs, snuck in untracked, has put the ball under Amy Harkin's right hand, and it's Spartans 1, City 0 in the derby. So there we go. Justin and I don't know who was subbed at halftime, but what we do know is that Spartans are in front. Now, well, I mean, also, actually, it's a good turn by Olivia Moore, and she goes for goal. It takes a little hop off this synthetic turf, and then Ella Stewart gathers. By the way, answering one of my queries from the first half, Ella Stewart still wearing a baseball cap. It's like, well, she's trying to keep the floodlights out of her eyes, no doubt. And of course, now that we're out of daylight saving, as it's Precious with the foot in, and then Visser for Spartans. Do love floodlight football, and yes, that's what we're having in the second halves of the games from now on. In fact, of course, in the middle of winter, basically all of the match will be all the matches will be under floodlights. Harkin playing it wide. That's Anand. Anand again. Lobos. Now, Justin, no, I was about to say that. No, Davies beat me to it. At least we're both right, I suppose. I mean, I suppose we could both be wrong, but we think for City that Annabelle Forbes, number 24, has come on for number 25, Angelique Scapetis. And Moore, this might take a deflection, and now is a big chance for Tufa Noglu, but it is straight at Ella Stewart. So my early, somewhat reckless speculation on the Spartan sub is that Radeh Mohammadi has replaced Emma Ingerson. I'm totally prepared to be wrong about this, of course. Forbes. Zacek plays it back. DeMello. Stratton. A bit of room in the center of the park. The touch through, and is the flag going to stay down? It is. Here's Forbes with possibly an option in the middle, or she could go herself, but she takes too much time, and eventually the two Spartans defenders block the route to goal. As Anand loses out to Darga. And Darga's going to try and take it the other way. Now it's the through ball, and it's going to be handball against DeMello. Well, I was going to go through, do a reminder of the two lineups at halftime with my best guess at the formations. Now I'm glad I didn't do so, because those two halftime subs, one for each side, means we've got to start all over again. Well, if you're the multi-screening type and you're wondering what's happened with the Sydney Uni versus RPS stream, technical difficulties. I'll just say that it's technical difficulties at Seymour Shaw. Anyway, Spartans free kick comes in. They let it bounce before Amber Precious bombs it into the night sky. There's Lynch. Now is Benuya, and Benuya loses out. That will be a goal kick. Oh, no. Technical difficulties have robbed us of footage of an Ashley Crofts goal. Aye. Unbelievable. But down at Seymour Shore, RPL Leichhardt leading Sydney University by 2-1 in the Tory Truman Trophy. That's going to make the highlights package a bit of a mission. Best of luck to you, Nick Amies. Anyway. Now, it's a foul. I think Lawboss has been pinged there, and the Spartans can take a little bit of a breather. Rasandic. Switch, great switch, and Vanuya has room here. He's one-on-one with Precious. Vanuya delivers. There's a handball shout from Vanuya and 2 spectators, but not enough to convince the referee. Now, as that's... And then some equally optimistic handball shouts for the far side, is it? Ref's happy to let play continue. Now Morris, oh, that's great. Gill from Morris. Yes, but now Spartans going from left to right. Here's Vanuya again. Now Vanuya, this time Precious is able to block the route to goal. By the way, and I might have to drip feed this little anecdote to you, but did mention earlier, how do I know that Paris Vanuya is of Filipino heritage like myself? Well, we'll wait and see how this attack goes. As it's back to Mohammadi, and now Vine. Vine cross blocked, and Stratton will play it backwards for the clearance. So yes, so this by the way could be my most obscure commentary story of all time, but. So I was calling a Hills Football Women's Premier League game about 4 years ago between Castle Hill United and Winston Hills at Valentine Sports Park. Apologies, I can't remember who Paris was playing for at the time, but I think at halftime break, I was approached by a kind gentleman who I think might be in the crowd today, as Lynch gets the foot in there. And he just said, "Hey man, you Filipino?" And I said, "Yes, I am." And he said, "I thought so, because you're pronouncing my daughter's name correctly." Like, yes. So it's always good to meet mga kababayan or to see them playing out on the football field. And here we go. Here's Paris Vanuya again, cutting inside, resuming a battle with Precious, and Precious, with the help from Zacek, was able to dispossess number 12. Now, City trying right side with Anand. Zacek. Zacek up to Tufanoglu, and Lynch is strong but not quite strong enough, and Tufanoglu still has it. Now Lobos. Back to Zacek. Header from Rasandic. Zacek again towards Lobos. It's a bit narrow here for City, but they found some width here with Precious getting forward. And then Vine is back to defend. Now Visser. Actually, she's got the support, so now if Spartans are quick enough, can they hit City before they're set? That's a good ball through the center to Visser. Now Vanuya's open out wide. Visser hasn't seen the run. Still Visser. Now options maybe to the left. And the shot, well, that is going to take a hop and into Amy Harkin's gloves. Touch there from Tufanoglu, has the support trailing her. And the 2 central midfielders, Stratton takes on a defender to the edge of the box. Stratton shoots, and it doesn't have much power on it. Ella Stewart falls on the ball. Here's Visser. but then the bounce doesn't favour Spartans. And now Olivia Moore. Two pressures. Nund. The defensive header for City. Snaffled up by Vanuya, who is Mohammadi calling for it behind her, but Vanuya wants to run with the ball once again. Generally what you want from a winger. Good tackle from Moore. Zacic getting lots of touches and tries the ball through the middle. Tufanoglu will get to it. And the through ball, and the shout I think was from Forbes. But now Spartans might take it the other way. Here's Vanuya. Getting a lot of play in the second half, but the flag is up for offside. Off the boot of DeMello, tempted flick from Lobos. Lynch blocking the path to goal. There we go. So see in the distance, that's what I was talking about earlier. That famous logo in the background. Now Bunoya ball down the line for Vine. Vine up against two players, so the support comes. Mohammadi, decent ball, and Harkin doesn't hold it. It's a big chance for Blacktown. The Spartans, still a chance, and then, Harkin stayed alert after not claiming the initial ball, diving at the feet of the opposition striker to smother the chance into what would have been an open goal, and the score stays at 1-0. City trying to build out in front of, what am I going to call that? The canteen corner of Blacktown Football Park? Yeah, something like that. Not as catchy as the Courtney Vine corner. It's up into the air, and when it lands, with Spartans. Rasandic. Now, I wonder if the flag's going to come up soon. Now, that's a touch. That's going to be a corner. So the pressure does lead to a kick from the flag for the hosts. By the way, a friend that shall remain nameless asking me if I'm enjoying myself, and then they followed it up with, well, you're speaking for 90 minutes by yourself. Of course you're enjoying yourself. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your support. If I'm honest, more commentators should like the sound of their own voice. That's the problem, but I will not name any names. Rasandic with the corner kick. Outswinger, good ball. Harkin had to stay on the line, and she implores the defenders to clear the danger. Moore eventually does. Straight into the fence. Spartans throw-in coming up. Now Visser, she was going to shape for some kind of Megan Campbell-esque long throw, but instead, suspected head injury, so I think we're going to see the City physio waved onto the field. Okay, so we will. Of course, you've got to take head injuries with the utmost seriousness, so break and play, and we will... as someone gives it an unnecessarily large amount of throttle to our left, we will take a break. I love Western Sydney. And for those of you that know me well, my employment situation will never, ever change that. So we think ahead to... might do a little bit of a promo for the Easter weekend League One Women's Match of the Round. By the way, for you clever ones amongst you, is that Catholic Easter or Orthodox Easter? Yes, they're on the same weekend for once. sensational. But it will again feature Blacktown City. They're hosting Bankstown City at Landon Stadium on Holy Saturday, not Easter Saturday, Holy Saturday, Saturday 19th of April. I believe that's a 5 p.m. kickoff at Landon Stadium. Justin, do you know who the commentator is? Because it's neither of us. Oh, it's you. Oh, you're gonna miss whatever it was you were planning to do. Okay, that's good. Good for you. Good choice. Now, Lynch with the long throw might get a second chance as well. In fact, she'll wait. Now she's going to try another long throw, which doesn't have much in the way of short options. In fact, so she waits for the runner, and the bounce that's fooled Visser there, and the chance is gone. So there we go. Does appear that Justin Davies and I are alternating matches of the round. I did the one 2 weeks ago and this one. He did last weekend, so he's doing next weekend. And I've got the one 2 weeks from now. Sutherland Strikers versus Hills United. I think that's Sunday, the 27th of April, 4:30 p.m. kickoff on the hybrid pitch at Harry Denning. I happened to call that fixture last season, and it was the greatest game I've ever called in my entire life. But now Spartans are on the move. They call this the greatest game of football I've ever seen. Oh, well, no. Second greatest game. Well, no, greatest game of football I've ever seen. I've seen one futsal game that's better than that one, but that's another story. I should probably explain these anecdotes to you, but I won't. Let's assess this Spartans attack first. A little bit of a loose touch from Thomas. And now Lynch leaves it for Mohammadi. Mohammadi prods it forward. And off the bounce, it's settled by Ella Morris. Rasandic. Now, a bit of an awkward one on the far side for Daga, I think it was, and then a City player down, so might have another stoppage here. But yes, I think, actually, while we're talking about promoting future League One women's matches of the round, I mean, might as well go long with this one because I have the one on Sunday, the 4th of May. It's another derby, Marconi Stallions versus SD Raiders at the Palace, Marconi Stadium. Will that be on the main grass field or will that be one of the back synthetic fields? Well, we'll see. But it'll be there. It'll be in that general complex, that's for sure. And you've got the team that currently are leading the league, Marconi, up against the defending premiers from last year, SD Raiders. That will be an excellent game. Now the run comes in. Good positioning there from DeMello. And now City trying to go forward. Interesting ball over the top. So it's a race which Lynch wins. And now Lynch, she's going to do a bit of a shepherd here. Did she win the goal kick? No, she didn't. That's clever work from Tufanoglu. Didn't give up on that one. And City will have a kick from the flag by the driveway corner of Blacktown Football Park. Yeah. Yeah, there. By the way, actually, I was talking to... I see, there's going to be a sub. Oh, no. I can't see that. Oh, no. The player turned around, which is useful for the ref, but not for me specifically. So it's not the backup keeper, Samantha Edwards. How about that? So it's either number 4 or number 11. 11 makes sense because... Actually, it might not be number 4. It has to be number 4 or number 11. Unless I can't even read a team sheet properly. Oh, so it's number 11, Fatima Otero. She's on for... Did you see who was on, Justin? Please? Oh. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Now, corner coming in. And, could be up there for Blacktown. Again, precisely 2 spectators calling for handball. And Zacek's shot, it goes over the bar. Zacek claiming for a touch she's not going to get. Despite that off-target shot, Zacek, I think, has had a very good game. Been one of the best on the synthetic turf for City this evening. As I said, alluded to earlier, a player with a lot of experience in this competition. I think primarily with Gladesville Ravens, although she has spent time at Blacktown City. She did indeed score the winner for Gladesville Ravens in the 2022 League One Women's Grand Final. And just say, if you score against Sarah Easthope, you must have done one incredible job in that game. Bounce favours City, attacking throw-in coming up, and I think that's Anand on the far side. The cross comes in, and that's it. Someone wanted a corner, but it's going to be... Oh, no, it is going to be a corner. Yeah, I thought that. I'm pretty sure that took a deflection. Yeah, just... I didn't think Jessica Nunn pulled off the greatest knuckleball of all time to make the ball fly like that. But, yeah, corner coming up. DeMello to take. Now, I was going to say 25 came off for City, but she's the one that came off at halftime, so it's not her. I'm sorry, everyone. This could take a while to figure out who's come off. But first, more important things, as we see Lobos trying to put off the keeper into the 6-yard box. Vine was strong in the air. DeMello with a second chance to deliver and sends it low into the side netting. Justin, we better get a move on figuring out this sub before Spartans make one. But Olivia Moore, number 15, I think, is the one that's come off. Hooray. Sacek able to turn. Gets it off a teammate. Has a runner. That's the new player, Otero, in front of her. Starts to go elsewhere. And Otero might still be in a bit of space, but that's a good play from Lynch. Then a clean tackle up against Mohammadi. City have it back. Lobos tries to switch it, but Darga couldn't get a touch, so instead it's Tufanoglu, and now Forbes for City. And Suffolk grabs in the edge of the box before Angelique Lynch has had quite enough of that and bombs it. Zacek to recycle. Quick feet on the far side. And then a comprehensive foot in there from Morris. Okay. Okay. It's 5 and 3 off. So Eleanor Darga and Mira Thomas are off for Spartans. That's as much as we can give you right now. I see a 28. Abigail Duggan's one of the players on. And yeah. Yes, it's Okay, so we do know that Abigail Duggan is one of the newly introduced players for Spartans. See, now that's why I was so keen to figure out that Mission City sub, because then you don't want like a backlog of subs you haven't figured out. By the way, I've been messaged. Apparently, there's a commentator who's worse at figuring out halftime subs than I am. Well, that's that's the bar is literally on the floor, and that person has tripped over it. Anyway, here's Benuya. Good link-up play with Mohammadi, right in front of Angela Tupobey, the Football New South Wales assigned commentator for this evening's game. By the way, Angela actually messaged me, telling Justin and I to wave out of this shipping container at halftime, and so I imagine the photo. She takes good photos, although I mean it'll be a test of her photography skills to take a good photo of my head, but that's another story. Angela also gave me a Tori Truman playing card before the game started, which is very greatly appreciated. Back to this game. Rasandic with the in-swinger. And she found ahead of a teammate. It was Visser. Visser heads wide. Stratton turns away from trouble, but Anand might get back into some trouble here. There's Hastings. And now Stratton again. Decent turn to Zacek. And now it's Mohammadi with the no-nonsense clearance. Zacek outnumbered then. Rasandic with the ball over the top. No runner to meet that, at least initially, although Vine's going to make Irvine's going to make Anand play at it. And Anand in the end wasn't confident in the back pass, so plays it into the advertising boards. City stand firm, and they've got out of at least their third here, and there's a little bit of room. They stay on the far side. Lynch is across the cover. Safety first. And as that advertising board gets a workout. So Justin Davies has a theory. We think number 14, Rebecca Barreto Rodriguez, is the other player that came on at the same time as Abigail Duggan. Well, yes, I have to take your word for it. All right, to the final 20 minutes of regulation time here, and courtesy of a Davina Vine goal early in the second half, very early in fact, first minute of the second half, Spartans leading Blacktown City by 1-0 in the derby. There's Duggan towards Benuya. Again, Benuya skips past the challenge and then played the pass behind Vissa's run. Mohammadi watches Lobos closely, but Lobos moves inside. In the center circle, it's Zacek. Tufanoglu. Tufanoglu looks out wide, and that ball will make its way all the way to Otero, but well, there's a reason she was wide open, because she's offside. By the way, as we go around the grounds, as well, more importantly, as I wait for my live score up to update. Oh, look. Rockdale wanted at Denser Park. Good for them. And perhaps relevant, at least to more general fans of Blacktown City, it is a come-from-behind win for Blacktown City at Landon Stadium. They defeated St. George FC by 3-2. But it's time is running out if Blacktown City are to get a result in women's first grade here. But there's the tackle, and now a decent run from Lobos, and flag stays down. Lobos from a tight angle shoots, and it's easy for Stewart. Okay. Well, there's... Davies understood the assignment. He's given me an update I actually want to say. I'll hang on for now, because let's see how Lobos does. The through ball here, and it's an interesting one, and the keeper's out. Good command of the penalty area, and the little bobble doesn't hurt Spartans in the end. Could be a bit of cramp here for Tufanoglu as well. It's two players going wholeheartedly for the ball. No ill intent there. Hopefully it's just cramp for Tufanoglu, who's worked hard up front for Blacktown today. But Ella Stewart was judged that to perfection and claimed the ball right at the edge of her penalty area. But meanwhile, I am reliably informed there's been a goal at Petermore Field, and the Queens of the Beaches, the NPL Women's New South Wales League leaders, at least for now, Manly United, have equalised against Sydney Olympic. Good for them. Foul called against DeMello. Not to test your multitasking skills too much, would you mind telling me who scored for Manly? I have reasons for wanting to know. Okay, Mount Druitt up 1-0 against Gladesville Ravens at Popondetta Park. So that's another game too far from here. By the way, last time I checked, it was 1-1 in the game played at the other end of this complex, Wanderers versus UNSW. As strong defense from the free kick. Is Stretton, I think, has the runners, but perhaps could have waited a little bit longer. In any case, Otero will leave it for Precious to take the throw as Lynch once again strong. Spartan sub coming up, Justin. So they they still got one window left after this one. Davina Vine is well, there's the Spartans player. The Spartan attackers are jogging all over the place. Who's actually going to leave the field? Oh yeah, it's going to be Vine. So yep, for the moment, she is the match winner. As we head into the final quarter now of the game, it's a well-deserved break for Davina Vine, who took her one chance expertly right at the start of the second half. She has been replaced. And out of the corner of my eye, Justin Davies with intent. Please turn around body language. Number 17, Danielle Keller. Yes. Well, whoever it is, yep, it's 17. So Danielle Keller replaces Davina Vine. It is 3 subs each, I think. And then the flag is up. Flag's up. That ends that latest City move. Here we go. So, now this should be Nicola Chocker coming on because. And the Nicola Chocker fan club has livened up. She was actually, I did see her in action in the under-23s game played before this one, which Blacktown won by 3-0. Oh, wait. Who was off? 13 off? Oh, 24. Are you sure? Because Annabelle Forbes came on at halftime. That's a decision. Okay. Well spotted, Justin. That is not what it took. Well, yes, so Annabelle Forbes, her brief cameo comes to an end. And as the shot from way out misses the target, and as Angela Duporbet behind the goal to our right takes more photos, which you will see on the Football New South Wales League's channels, I hope, at some point over the next week. Still remains 1-0 to Spartans over City in the Blacktown Derby. Oh, now, well, that pass out from the back, almost blocked by Spartans attacker pressing from the front. And as Justin Davies figures out how to denote a substitute that has then been subbed herself in the match report, parenthesis inside parenthesis, I assume, it is Spartans gradually moving the ball up the right touchline with a couple of throw-ins. Now, Mohammadi will look to use Keller as the target, but there's plenty surrounded by black jerseys. Zacek straight to Rasandic and up in the air. Quick foot in there from Precious. And now that's a great ball. Tufanoglu still full of running and a player in the middle. I think that's going to be a corner. Tufanoglu knows there's not a second to waste. By my very manual corner count, City have 4 corners, Spartans have 2. Now, it's in swinger. Lynch once again, strong at the near post. And now Spartans stepping up well. Now, decent first touch. But then Spartans continuing to stand firm, protecting their keeper well, including Duggan, the substitute. Zacek goes back to Anand. City try again. Now Benuya, and well, almost like she left it for a teammate who wasn't on the same wavelength. City once more on the ball. Lynch doesn't let the forward turn. And then touch is gone. Justin, can you please tell me who scored for Manly? Emily Manette. Emily Manette has scored. So that's Manly's golden boot from last season. Emily Manette, what a surprise. He's scored the equaliser for Manly. Now that will run through all the way to Stewart. And Stewart, yes. One of my favorite goalkeeping arts, falling unnecessarily on the ball when your team is 1-0 up late in the second half. And in a very small sense, following the footsteps of former Spartans goalkeeper Sarah Easthope, who is one of the best at that particular fall. Now that's, football could get all the way through to Visser, and the flag stays down. She didn't want to shoot from the tight angle, and she's been forced away from goal. Now, after a chat then, now it was offside in the end anyway. Well, I raised my voice for nothing. Oh, well, it's okay. Here's Stratton. Zacek, can she get the backspin to keep it in play? Lynch has the front position for this one. And never met a centre back who didn't like shepherding the ball over the goal line. Angelique Lynch does that successfully. Anand done by the bounce. So it's Hastings who, well, I think she's going to play it back to the keeper. Under pressure, yes she is. Stewart threads it past between opponents. DeMello can turn, and then DeMello stopped by Benuya. But City work it back to the keeper, and then Visser almost intercepted the diagonal ball from, sorry, not from Stewart, from Amy Harkin. My apologies, Amy. Zacek bounces it off a teammate, and then that's slice clearance. So Otero not able to run in behind, but City keeping possession. And the Lobos with the flick, but there's no one really there to challenge for it inside the box. And, well, Rasandic really telling Stewart, come on, please pick this up, please. And Stewart does so. And Justin, I'm going to be a little bit unreasonable with... Can you please tell me if Daisy Arrowsmith is playing for Manly against Olympic today? No, I will not explain to you why I'm doing this. It's a hashtag IYKYK situation. Cheers, yes. Daisy Arrowsmith, one of the stars of the Australian women's national futsal team, yes. Currently in action for Manly against Sydney Olympic. That's, well, it's not really what Spartans needed. Possession, the best form of defense in this game situation, but they just bombed it straight to Amy Harkin, who I now realize I might have accidentally called Stewart several times in the call, which, I'm sorry, Amy, if that's the case. Lobos allowed to turn. Option is out wide. Instead, she aims centrally. Too crowded for the ball to get through. And the shot from long range comes in, and that will be a goal kick. So before I forget, I can't do a women's stream at this time of year without talking about the greatest cup competition in the world, the Sapphire Cup. It is the third edition of the knockout competition for women's teams in Football New South Wales territory. And in fact, I believe in one of the... Actually, in the competition actually kicked off for this year with the Spartans and causing a bit of a surprise. At the Palace Marconi Stadium, they defeated Marconi Stallions in a penalty shootout to advance to round 3. Now the ball comes in and bodies flying everywhere. And Zacek first to it, but we're going to hold this. It's a pause in play to check on Ella Stewart. Because that could have been something that resulted in a head knock or some other form of injury. Right, yes. So looking at this, yeah. And in case you're wondering, so the Spartans won the very first game of the competition and they're through to round 3. Yes, it started in round 2. There is no round 1. Don't ask me why. No. I have enough trouble explaining what goes on in the field. I have enough trouble doing my actual job, let alone like this extracurricular stuff. Just it started in round 2. Just that's all you need to know. But just as I look at other results in dribble, I see Coniston from the South Coast got taught a lesson by UTS. Is the UTS from Northern Suburbs Premier League winning by 4-1, and then the yellow card for time wasting. So the referee is all over this, shall we say, game management from Spartans. I think actually Justin needs to know this. Was that Ella Morris who got booked? Left back suggest Ella Morris. Yeah, but. Let's hope it's uploaded on Dribble quickly for you, son. Let's hope all the results are uploaded quickly on Dribble for you. You need all of them. Yes, Justin, as I said earlier, busy collating his review. This is the match of the round, this featured one, but he will do a summary of all the other games in round 7 of League One Women's, and that'll be available late tonight on the Football New South Wales League socials. Now, shot coming in, blocked before it even gets anywhere near the keeper. Second shot is way over the crossbar. Now, Blacktown City in the Sapphire Cup, they play on Wednesday. They're at home at Landon Stadium, hosting the club I like to call Dos Santos FC, that is Shell Harbour from the South Coast. That's, of course, a reference to the Dos Santos sisters, Indiana and Janaea, also former Spartans, by the way, Indiana and Janaea, as well as the young one, Kiki, who actually plays for Wanderers Academy. But yes, Blacktown hosting Shell Harbour from the South Coast on Wednesday, 16th, 7:30 p.m. at Landon Stadium. I'm just looking at other interesting fixtures, possibly involving League One women's clubs. We've got, well, did Inter... So Inter Lions played Bankshire Tigers in the Battle of the Big Cats on Friday night. We don't have a score yet. So Wednesday, no, Justin just checked socials and there's the, yeah, okay. So whenever that gets uploaded, we'll let you know. That is quite unfortunate. Not League One Women's, but the last year's season's champions winners, Coogee United, are away to Marrickville. Actually, no. Well, they're technically away, but they're playing at Heffron Park, which might as well be a home game for them. That's on Tuesday, the 15th of April. Also, Bankstown City from League One Women's. They host Quakers Hill Junior Soccer Club on Tuesday. Then who else is in the League One Women's? There's an all League One Women's game at Chirilla Reserve on Wednesday. SD Raiders versus South Coast Flame. As I mentioned, Blacktown City hosting Shell Harbour on Wednesday. But we'll hold that as Blacktown trying to get a shot away. They need to, and again, the shot is trundling wide of the target. I think Lawless, to be fair, was off balance. What else? St. George FC are away. Well, they're very, very, very away from home. They're away to Tamor Soccer Club on Thursday, the 17th of April. That is definitely an away trip. The PNFC also are very, very much away from home. They're playing Bulleye from the South Coast competition at the curiously named Balls Paddock. On Thursday, the 17th of April, 8 p.m. kickoff. That's going to be a cold, cold game, but at least people who call Cook Park and St. Mary's home should be used to it. Now, the kick-out was intercepted by City, and so almost into time added on here. Not that we'll know how much time added on is played, and that will be easy. That will provide the breather that Spartans need as they try to see out this game, and there's going to be a yellow card, I think, to Jessica Anand, though to be honest, Justin, I'm not very confident about that guess. Okay, my personal interest is my faves. The Flying Bats are away to Dunbar Rovers on Thursday, the 17th of April at Chifley Sports Reserve. I will bring thermals and a puffer jacket and all kinds of layers because that, I am reliably told, I'm right that is one of the coldest venues possible. It's also near a cemetery, apparently, which definitely something. It'll definitely be an experience. Now, I think Spartans, just count their heads, they're down to 10 for the moment. As they see the player that was fouled, their apologies, but I can't see that far. It's a little fitness test by the technical area, but I think they're fine to come back on. So, Spartans back to full complement of players, and at the right time too, as the 90 minutes are almost up, we're almost into an undetermined amount of time added on, as Paris Vanuya once again being a tricky customer. City pretty much in kitchen sink time now. Angelique Lynch clears it into the bleachers. Oh, that was the perfect clearance. It's stuck underneath the silver seating, so no one can retrieve it quickly. She couldn't have planned that any better. What a clearance. Now, the City pass across the field intercepted, and now it is Rodriguez who tried to put some impetus into a counterattack for Spartans. Now it's Morris, and then Rasandic as well. I think she would have wanted more distance than that, actually. Do we have a ball on the other side of the fence? No, we don't. That kind spectator running across it almost had a ball outside the venue, but not quite. Zacek strong in the tackle. Decent cross. Lynch blocks it and clears. About a minute of time added on here. And as Justin Davies packs up his stuff to get quotes from the teams post-game, he's left myself and Peter, today's camera operator from our broadcast partners at Sportscast. We'll see out this game by ourselves. It's been a good defensive performance from the Spartans. Almost there, almost having their second win of the season. Hastings goes backwards when forwards is probably what's needed. There's Hastings again, doesn't get the bounce. And Rasandic, well, again slices it off the boot. Now up into the sky. Mohammadi ducks underneath it. The keeper doesn't claim it at the first time of asking. It's up for grabs. And the shot comes in. Blocked on the line by Mohammadi. Spartans hanging on. Zacek back into the middle. And Stewart claims it. Spartans just trying to get a hold of it and see it at the game in a kind of a safer manner with the ball at their feet. And City haven't given up. They can't give up in a derby. Vanuya wants to throw in. Not going to get it. Now Choka. Zacek. Scoops it. Lynch steps in there. And Choka back into the mixer. Otero. Now Zacek. Ball is too straight. That pass was too straight. Stewart collapses gratefully onto the synthetic turf. We've had 3 minutes of time added on here. There's some unnecessary horn blaring. I love Western Sydney. Never change Western Sydney. And then people revving their engines in a somewhat aggressive manner. Now, that, was about, thought that for a brief moment that was a full-time whistle, but surely this is last chance for Loon, for City, and there's a Spartans player well within the 10 yards, but we're going to let it run. Lynch, a little bit of a loose touch, does it drop for City here, and Stewart, that's when her team needed her most, was cool under pressure, showing a safe pair of hands. Flicks off DeMello. Anand. Oh, she's got to hurry. Zacek keeps it circulating. It's forward. Once again, how's the bounce? I might favor City here. And there's runners to the left. And a chance comes in, and it is hooked. It is spinning wide of the target. The whistle's in the mouth. And that is that. The Spartans have earned their second win of the Football New South Wales League One women's season for 2025. They've defeated their local rivals Blacktown City by 1-0. The decisive goal came about 40 seconds into the second half. Davina Vine with a lovely finish, low past the City goalkeeper Amy Harking, who could do nothing about it. For City, Zoe Zacek was pretty good in the centre of midfield, and some nice distribution. While for the Spartans, as we said, Davina Vine was the match winner. Also some good runs from their winger Paris Vanuya. Those were a couple of runs that were as tasty as my grandmother's cooking. But we hope you stick. We hope that you keep an eye out for the Football New South Wales League One Women's Round 7 review, which Justin Davies is collating, and which will be published later tonight by Football New South Wales media manager, the Greek god of Football New South Wales, Mark Stavroulakis. But for now, this is Eric Subihano signing off from Blacktown Football Park here in Rudy Hill. Thanks for your support. Wishing an early Kalapaska, Srekan Velikden, Satan Uskers, wishing an early happy Easter to all of you. Take care. Hope you have plenty of good vibes. Just remember, coffee and tattoos make you feel better, and we will see you next time.